Hello, my friends. Today's video, I want to share with you candles that I have repurchased. Now, these are specifically for the winter months. So let's say, I know November is not technically winter, but let's say late November, December, January, even carrying into February, that these are fragrances that I have previously burned. There is one exception, but I will tell you what that is when I get to it. But otherwise, I have previously burned these in years past, and they are candles that I have gone ahead and repurchased going into this season. Now, for some of you guys, you might be thinking, what's the big deal? I do that all of the time. Well, for me, as somebody who has this YouTube channel, I typically have to walk a tightrope act, I guess you would say, with my candle budget of purchasing candles that I genuinely enjoy, but also balancing that out with trying new things that I think, you know, people might want to hear about, and then ultimately I might end up liking as well. So I feel like it's a big deal when I repurchase a fragrance. Today I have some Homeworx candles, I have some Kringle candles, and I even have a Bath & Body Works candle to share with you in here. If you are joining me for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I like to talk about predominantly candles. I keep saying I'm gonna do beauty, but I haven't produced a beauty video in a really long time. So if you find yourself wanting to stick around for more of my content, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button before you get on out of here. But let's go ahead and talk about some of these candles. So I'm going to go ahead and start out with some Homeworx candles. Now, I am a Homeworx ambassador. This video is not sponsored. In fact, none of the candles that I have here are PR because, like I said, I have repurchased these candles. But Homeworx did recently increase the discount code for their ambassadors. So my discount code is KATIESJOYFULLIFE. I know that's a really long one, but the discount code will now save you 15% on orders over $40. I know that Homeworx is currently running their pre-Black Friday sale. They've got some pretty good deals going on over there, and the 15% discount code does work with sale items. The only like discount code that I've been told that it won't work with is like you can't combine rewards discount codes with an ambassador discount code. So if you find yourself interested in any of these candles or shopping the sales, or I don't know, just whenever, I do have a discount code down below linked for you, and I appreciate it if you use it, but if not, that's completely fine. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start out with two Homeworx candles that I came across in my local TJ Maxx. So these are candles that are not currently available on the website, but I burned them. I think the first time I got my paws on them was either in a 2020 or 2021 TSV. Well, probably 2021 TSV. All right. This first one is Balsam White Birch. Now, this is in this beautiful vessel, and the reason I snatched these up when I saw them at TJ Maxx was because not only did I love the fragrance, but I love the vessel that they are in. Now, this particular one is in a 3-wick format, but I have to tell you that this did pretty well for me. So Balsam White Birch, this one was $12.99 at TJ Maxx. The fragrance notes on this are fir balsam, white birch, cedar leaf, and smoldering woods. My pour date on this says November 10th of 2021. So I feel like this one should be a good, strong candle for me. It's pretty strong on cold sniff. And I think that, you know, if you're new to Homeworx, sometimes, and I'm not saying candles should have to do this, but I do find that my Homeworx candles tend to increase in strength the longer that I let them sit. So I'm hoping the fact that this was poured 2 years ago, maybe it'll be stronger for me. But I absolutely love this fragrance. I should probably go ahead and pull off the little plastic covering here. My nose definitely detects that birch scent. This is a nice, like, cool tree scent. I feel like I don't necessarily think Christmas tree when I smell this. I definitely think of winter time. Oh man, it's not as astringent to my nose as the Homeworx White Birch scent. I know that that's a very popular fragrance. To me, that one is almost too pungent, but something about this one, like the notes of, like, well, the name of being Balsam White Birch, but there's something about, this is like a toned down version of white birch. I definitely get the fir balsam in there, which I am finding that fir is actually a note that I really like. I also really like the notes of cedar. You will probably see a recurring theme of that here. Smoldering woods, again, a recurring theme that you're probably gonna see in here of fragrance notes that I like. But oh, this is just so good. So if you happen to run across it in TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Marshalls, I would say pick it up because this is a good one. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that trash over there real quick. Another candle that I picked up, I feel like this was I had gotten the QVC 3, like there was like 3 of these in a TSV. I cannot for the life of me remember what the other one was, although it was in like a green, it was in a green vessel like this. I did see a green vessel like this in Merry Mistletoe. Was it, no, Mistletoe Magic was at TJ Maxx. I did not pick that up, but this fragrance here is by the Fireside. I'm going to tell you now, if you are somebody who loves hearth or fire type of scents, you are my people. I love those type of fragrances. In fact, you will see that in these candles that I've repurchased. To me, By the Fireside is the best Homeworx hearth fireside. Well, I have another one that'll be in the video next week, but that's more of like a Christmas scent. You guys are already gonna know what I'm talking about. But this is the best like fire, I don't want to call it fire fragrance, but hearthside type of fragrance that Homeworx does, outside of it being a distinctly holiday type of fragrance. I feel like, again, this one is good November all the way through February. It's just perfect for winter months. I would even say that you could get away with burning this one in like the summertime on like those like in like the evening. I love this fragrance. I feel like it's the most versatile. So By the Fireside, the fragrance notes are warm embers, mulled spices, golden amber, and cedar wood. So again, you're seeing in there cedar wood. I tend to like golden amber, and that is what I'm smelling in here. This is a beautiful warm fragrance. It's slightly sweet, but those mulling spices are not as strong. Say, if you have smelled crackling Fireside, which I did have that a couple of years ago, and I did not repurchase those this year. I've seen them in my TJ Maxx. I have not repurchased it because that one is a little bit too heavy on the cinnamon for me. But there's something in that it becomes too powerful for me. This is perfect because I detect the amber and the cedar wood. Slight smokiness to this, but it's not overwhelmingly smoky. There's another fire type of scent that I like that is very smoky that I will be talking about next. But this one is so good. Again, this one I did pick up at TJ Maxx. I can't remember if I've seen this in a 3-wick. Quite possibly, I may have seen one at Ulta or on the Slatkin & Co website. If I can find it, I will link it down below, but if not, keep an eye out in your local discount retailers. This one was also poured on November 9th of 2021, so I'm hoping that this one will be a good performer. I actually picked up 2 of those because I love that fragrance so much. So while we're going ahead and talking about like these fire type of fragrances, I don't have it right here in front of me because I am actually burning it right now in my kitchen, but it is the candle that I jokingly call my gateway. I'm not making fun of drug addiction, but it was my gateway candle to the world of Homeworx, and that candle is Winter Fireside. Now, Winter Fireside is a very polarizing scent, I have come to learn. People either love it or they're like, no, it's way too smoky, not for me. When I say smoky, I'm not talking about like this is cigarette smoke, and to me, it's not even super campfire smoky heavy. I do a lot of bonfires, and if I went camping more, I would probably do campfires, but I'm pretty familiar with what it's like to sit outdoors by the fire in the wintertime. We ourselves have a wood burning fire pit, and so I'm very familiar with that scent. And to me, when I smell Winter Fireside, I don't detect like, oh, this is super smoky. Now, I did gift that candle to a friend last year, and we joke about her husband came into the room and was like, what's on fire? Like, is something on fire? So we laugh about that. All right, the fragrance notes on Winter Fireside are sultry incense, smoked firewood, rich clove buds, and mulled spices. So again, you're going to see that one and the By the Fireside both have that mulled spices accord in there, which I absolutely love. To me, Winter Fireside does have, I detect more of that incense and that rich base of clove, which again, clove is another fragrance note that people love or hate. So I feel like if you are somebody who likes hearth fragrances, you don't mind clove, and maybe a little bit of incense, but again, this is not incense like covering up the smell of weed type of incense. It's just beautifully done. There's something that reminds me about it reminds me of Christmas. I have actually gotten a lot of compliments every time that I have burned it and people have come into my home. I usually get compliments on it. So I would say that that is a fragrance. I've also seen that one showing up in a lot of stores. I would say go ahead and try that one if you typically like fragrances in that kind of scent profile. All right, another candle that I believe this one came out, my years are getting so mixed up, but I believe that this fragrance first dropped, maybe it was 2019 or 2020. And this fragrance is Snow Tipped Pine. My mother-in-law loves this fragrance. In fact, I initially purchased this fragrance for my mother-in-law, like this actual candle to give to her for Christmas, but I'm thinking I might just buy one for Black Friday because I'm like, oh, I like that one too. It smells so good. The fragrance notes on it are pine needles, alpine juniper, white birch, and woods. So this is like a cool tree scent. Again, similar to that balsam white birch, but they are not the same fragrance. Let me compare the two of them. Yeah, balsam white birch almost, I don't want to say smells like kind of minty. There's no mint note to it. They're both cool winter tree type of fragrances, like that cool winter air. There's definitely no warmth to that. Yeah, this one I want to say is maybe slightly like sweeter. I detect maybe some of that juniper note in this more. Oh, I love this fragrance. I would say that if you are not a fan of Homeworx candles, but you want a similar fragrance and you like Kringle, the fragrance Winter Wonder is very, very similar to my nose. In fact, I actually just burned through a Winter Wonder. You will see it in my empties later on this month. But, oh, I love this fragrance. Again, it pairs really nicely with some of these like hearth fire type of fragrances. It can also pair nicely with gourmands. So this is a fragrance that I went ahead and said, yes, let's go ahead and get another one. All right, this is the Homeworx candle that I am planning to repurchase. So I have just bought this for the first time. It was kind of out of my wheelhouse. It's not really a fragrance. Again, it's not a hearth side, it's not a tree, but something about the fragrance notes intrigued me and I went ahead and purchased it a few weeks ago and it's already on my Black Friday sale shopping list. What fragrance is it? Cozy Weekend. All right, the fragrance notes on Cozy Weekend are cozy woods, roasted almond, clover honey, and vanilla. Okay, this is a fragrance that I am actually waiting to burn until January. This is definitely a fragrance that I'm going to burn after I take down all of my Christmas decor. Fun fact, you can probably see it behind me. I actually set up Christmas this last weekend, which is why like my seating position is a little different. The Christmas tree is literally right here to the left of my lighting stand. But yeah, my position changed a bit. So when I take my Christmas decor down, which I'm fully loving it right now, this is the fragrance that I will be burning. This is very clean, and yet that honey and almond note in here is gorgeous. Like, it's not a gourmand fragrance. It's clean and fresh without smelling like laundry detergent or even like cotton. It's not a cotton type of fragrance to me. Oh my word. I opened this up and smelled it and I was like, yep, need more of that. Ooh, it smells really good. It's unique. It's a unique fragrance. You know, sometimes you smell fragrances and you're like, oh, okay. Like for example, Snow Tipped Pine. I love that fragrance, but it's not unique to me. Like I've smelled that in another brand, probably Yankee or Bath & Body Works. They probably all have like similar dupes of it. This Cozy Weekend, for me personally, I have not smelled this fragrance with anybody else. There's like a level of sophistication almost with it. Absolutely stunning. So that is a fragrance that is definitely going to be a repurchase. And then I'm going to go ahead and reach down here and pick up my large Mama Jamma here because this is a fragrance that if I did not have it in a luxe candle that I only burned like that much of last year, this would be a candle that I would repurchase for the winter. Ooh, let's pick it up here. All right, so this luxe candle is no longer available, but the fragrance itself is still available. This is Spun Vanilla Sugar. So Spun Vanilla Sugar from Homeworx. The fragrance notes are spun sugar, whipped cream, sugared lemon, and vanilla. Again, this is a fragrance that I typically burn in January because it's a warm gourmand. Oh, it's so good. You get a little tinge of that lemon in here, but it's just so good. It's a gourmand without it being like heavy baking spices. It's like a fresh gourmand, not a fresh gourmand. That feels like kind of like a weird thing to say. A lighter gourmand, I guess, to me, because it's vanilla, tiny little bit of lemon in there. That whipped cream, you definitely get that like sweetness in there. Ooh, it's just one of my absolute favorites. So it's another one that I would, if I did not have it, look at this, you guys. Look at how much I only burned last winter. I think I've got to at least try to get through like another half of it. But again, it's a great like mixing candle as well. Oh my goodness. And I got a full arm workout there, picking that up and putting it down. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Kringle candle. Now, if you have been with me for a while, you're probably saying, Katie, I know that there's a Homeworx candle that you did not mention here. Stay tuned for next week's video because that is going to be in next week's video, but I can't include them all in one video. But there is another candle that I pretty much hoarded when I saw it at TJ Maxx that was a repurchase, but stay tuned for next week's video. All right, Kringle candle. Here are two fragrances that I have burned in years past, and I went ahead and repurchased this year. In fact, one of the candles I have actually had sitting in my closet since I think last day after Christmas. I think I placed this order in anyways, it was right after Christmas I had purchased this. But this is one that if I did not already have it in my collection, I would go ahead and repurchase it again. Okay, you guys get it. All right, so this is Kringle Candles Cozy Cabin. Now, I do not know if this 3-wick format, last I checked, I believe that it was sold out, but I do know that this candle is available in other formats, in the 2-wick tumblers, and it's also available in the mercury jars this year, which is great. Cozy Cabin, the fragrance notes are firewood, cedarwood, brown sugar, cinnamon bark, vanilla, and warm maple. Oh my goodness. I love this one. Now, it's so funny. A friend of mine said that she thinks that this smells like wet firewood, and I think she kind of meant it in I don't think she meant it to be derogatory, but she didn't like the fragrance. And I was like, yeah, I totally love it because it smells like that. That is what this reminds me of. If I were in fact, not on this label, but the actual label on the Kringle tumbler jars has this cabin with snow on it and the smoke coming out and it's in the woods. That is actually what I think of when I smell this. I think of staying in a cabin like that and going outside and collecting some firewood. I live in Arizona, so going out and collecting firewood in a snow-covered ground is just not something I don't think I've ever done that in my whole life. Nope, haven't done that. But in my mind, this is what it would smell like. There's sweetness in there. The maple is not cloying. This is not like a maple type of fragrance, but you do detect a little bit of it. The brown sugar and the cedar wood for sure. It's not super smoky. Cinnamon bark, because I don't smell cinnamon like you would use in baking in this fragrance. It's more of just a woodsy, ooh, love it. Absolutely love that fragrance. So that is one that I repurchased actually last year. And then this is a candle that I burned last year. I pre-ordered it when Kringle gave their ambassadors, they give us sometimes they give us some pre-order access to candles. And so when they were releasing the mercury jars, I pre-ordered this because I had it last year and I loved it. And a couple of weeks ago, they actually had the mercury jars 30% off. And I went ahead and purchased 2 more of them. That's how much I love it. I love this fragrance so much. This is actually the candle that I am planning to burn for Thanksgiving next week. And I'm gonna tell you why here in just a minute. So the fragrance on this is Holiday. This is one of the fragrances that I did recommend in my November burns. So the fragrance notes of Kringle Candles Holiday are balsam, bay leaf wreath, sparkling lemon, clove bud, eucalyptus, allspice, vanilla, golden amber, and winter moss. Now, the reason I like this fragrance so much is because You do detect some of that bay leaf in there and a little bit of lemon. This again is another unique fragrance. It's very conceptual. Sometimes Kringle's conceptual fragrances I can't get on board with. To be honest with you, a lot of the Halloween fragrances are just not for me, and I know that they are very conceptual at that time. Some of the Reserve line candles have been conceptual. I feel like out of the Mercury jar lineup here for holiday, this is probably the most, I don't want to say like out of the box one, but it's out of the box, and I absolutely love it because a lot of people see that bay leaf and they get turned off. They think like, no. I'm telling you, this one is really nice. It's warm, it's inviting. I smell bay leaf. I get a little bit of lemon in there, maybe a touch of eucalyptus, but this is not a woodsy fragrance. The reason I love holiday is because in the winter time, it's like the one time of year where I actually start to cook things, and I'll have like a roast going in my crock pot or a stew, or I'm baking, or I'm cooking a lot more than I do like in the winter time, or in the summertime. I go for more like fresh and light because it's insanely hot here. And in the winter time, I'm cooking heartier things, and I still want home fragrance, but I don't want anything that's going to clash with what I am cooking. And so that's why I'm thinking that this one's going to be a really nice one to burn on Thanksgiving Day, because I'll have that turkey in the oven and the stuffing. And I just feel like this is going to lend a homey, warm atmosphere. My family really likes this fragrance too. You guys, if you've seen my husband on some of the hauls that we have done together, he is very vocal about what he likes and does not like, and he really likes this fragrance. I do have a discount code with Kringle Candle. My discount code there is KATIE15. I do note that the discount code typically only works on full priced merchandise. Usually it doesn't work in conjunction with a lot of their better sales, but yeah, I always say get the best discount that you can. All right, and then finally, my last candle that I'm going to talk about is a Bath and Body Works candle. Now, you guys know I am the oddball in the candle community. I don't purchase a ton of Bath and Body Works. Let me reverse this. Certain Bath and Body Works candles I do, but I don't really go crazy because, to be honest with you, I don't have great success. They're so hit and miss for me, and I don't necessarily always find their fragrances to be the most appealing, I guess, to my nose. But the ones that do appeal to me really do, and those are ones that I will repurchase year after year. So this was a fragrance that they released last year. I kicked myself that I did not get enough backups of it, and so I was so glad to see it return. And that is Pistachio and Toasted Vanilla. The fragrance notes on Bath & Body Works Pistachio and Toasted Vanilla are salted pistachios, toasted vanilla almonds. Okay, that doesn't really give us a whole lot there. This fragrance to me is very similar. If you have been with the Homeworx brand for a long time, there was a candle, gosh, it's gotta be probably 4 or 5 years ago now. It was in the early days of Homeworx that was titled, was it Almond Flower? I want to say it was Almond Flower. That is what this smells like to me. It's creamy, slight bit of nuttiness to it, but it's very much in the same realm as that cozy weekend type of candle. It's a gourmand, but it's not a heavy, spicy gourmand. It's not like a cookie or a cake gourmand. There's a creaminess to it, but it's slightly perfumey. Oh, I absolutely love this fragrance. I know that this was kind of like a viral fragrance over on social media, but I absolutely love this fragrance. It was a repurchase for me. I bought 2 of these, and if there are, haven't checked to see if they are still in stock, but if they happen to still be in stock, I would purchase more of them because that is a fragrance that I definitely never want to be without. So that is it for the candles that I have repurchased going into the winter season. Let me know in the comment box down below, maybe 3 fragrances that come around maybe year after year, or you're always afraid that they might not come back and you're like, oh, I better repurchase it and have it in my backups. I would love to know that. In fact, the candle community would love to know that. I am over on Instagram and Facebook. However, I have not, I've been taking a break from that probably until the end of the calendar year, to be quite honest. I haven't been over there in almost 2 weeks. And while I miss interacting with a lot of you who interact with me over there, it's been very good for my mental health and being able to just spend more quality time with my family and friends. So I'll be back over there at some point, but it may look a little different when I do return. But I did want to let you know, if you've tried contacting me over there and I haven't been responding, it's just because I've been pretty much fasting from it for the last couple of weeks, and I plan to continue to do so for the rest of this year. Let me see, what else? Don't forget to hit thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it. I would really appreciate that. I feel a coughing fit coming on. Once again, I want to say thank you so much for spending your time here with me. If you are not subscribed to my channel and want to know what I'm going to be talking about next week, I think you're going to want to see that video. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. But again, thank you so much for spending your time here with me today. Enjoy some sales. Budget, stay within your budget. Don't go overboard. It's just candles. We're literally burning our money away. But I just want to say that I hope you all have a very blessed day. Until my next one, take care. Bye-bye.